Dobrodošli u novo izdanje emisije Oni vole Srbiju. Naš današnji gost je američki fudbaler Ofke, Itan Hord. Da ne gubimo vrijeme, idemo da ga upoznamo i da čujemo njegovu priču. First off, thank you so much for being here. It's a pleasure to have this conversation with you. Tell me first, how do you feel? How do you like Belgrade so far?
It's a very nice city, way better than I thought. I mean, I come from Chicago, so I do know a few Serbian people that have told me more about the culture when I first signed my first contract. So I knew what I was getting into, but being here is very nice.
When you said I'm from Chicago, the first connection actually is Serbia. There are a lot of Serbs. I think that you walk on the street and you can hear Serbian all the time.
Didn't know how much Serbian people I was around until I came here and heard the same language and realized that it was by me and around me the whole time.
Yeah, that was a sign. That was a sign that your future was, your destiny was to come to Serbia.
Yes. I had a young teammate actually growing up my whole life, Nikola, and he was from Serbia, and he spoke Serbian like his whole life, and we never knew like how close I was to him until I came here, and then I actually met up with him like 10 years later here in Serbia. So it was a good moment.
So I'm sure that you are able to understand. You can understand something when people is talking. Isn't it good? Is this good? I think it's good that you can understand. I mean, you can use that even in the States.
Yes, but I pretend like I don't know, so I can hear everything. So
that's smart.
Yes.
It's very smart. That's very smart. So I would like to talk about your football journey, and it's very interesting because you're an American guy and you're playing soccer. Sorry if I'm saying football, because for me it's football. I cannot say soccer.
For me now it's football. So it's okay.
This is a little thing, but actually changed a lot. It's a big difference because every time I'm talking to American people, I'm saying soccer, because you know, how do you call that? Actually, the proper name is football. Football, and you're using that right now. Yes. Is this weird for you? Is it like telling you you're changing something in your head?
I mean, it's weird and also not, because obviously, like, I spend most of my life overseas now rather than back home. So when I go back home, then I use the word soccer, but 90% of the time I use football because I live here now. So
this is the beauty of sports, that you are traveling, and I can imagine that at first was a little bit complicated and difficult for you, leaving your family, changing your life. But now, how do you feel about that? Do you feel like more like an European guy than an American guy?
I feel more honored to be over here. At first, I was a little upset, sad, leaving my family because it was my first time out of the country. But now I feel honored to be able to represent just the players that I played with before, like the U.S. in general, just being one of so many players overseas in general. So I enjoy it now.
Actually, because you are doing something very important. As you said, I'm one of the few U.S. players who are playing overseas, and that's important because you're like giving hope to people, to kids in the U.S. That's possible, even if it's not like the first sport right now, but I have the feeling that is expanding so much, right?
Yes, soon to be. That was actually the one thing that helped me stay on track when I was first getting here. My agent called me and said that he really opened my eyes to that I was representing more than just myself, you know. I was representing a lot of people that have hope to come here one day. So
you gave me a lot of information right now. I have like 10 questions. But first off, I wanted to get to know you, get to know your story, because you said it was difficult to leave my family. I can imagine you're super attached to your family. And tell me first off more about your upbringing.
So to be honest, my journey was a little bit different. Like, I never played in many academies or anything like that. I didn't play into my first academy until I was like 18. Otherwise, it was just rec, like Sunday league stuff. It wasn't anything serious. And then I went to college, university, and I played there. and I actually played center back in college my last year. So that's why I didn't go to the MLS or get drafted, because I was a center back when I was supposed to be drafted, and then I went pro and became a striker, and then I scored 16 goals in that league, and then I came here, and then I've been here ever since. So
okay, but I had another question before that, because you already told me, okay, my journey was a little bit different, but my question was more like, why football? Why soccer? Because it's not the most popular thing over there. So maybe it was from your family who had an influence in you. Tell me more about that.
So actually, I'm the only person in my family who's ever played football, ever, because my whole family plays basketball.
Okay.
I have a few uncles and cousins who have played at high levels. My cousin, actually, Itan Hord, he plays in Euro League, and he's a professional basketball player. So I guess when I was younger, the whole reason was to just do something of my own, you know, make my own name in my own sport. So I just chose football because it was I guess the easiest thing transitioning from basketball and the agility and everything.
Okay.
And it was the hardest thing for my family to do.
Okay.
So I chose that sport.
But you never thought about basketball? You didn't like it?
I don't know. When you have a whole family of players and people in your family who know the game of basketball, there's always something that you can do better. There's always something they know that somebody else doesn't know. But in football, it's really your own game. You know, you make your own game, you make your own player. Like you can be whoever you want to be. But in basketball, there's 5 positions. In football, you can play 11 different positions. So I don't know. I just like the thought of making it on my own. So.
Yeah, I can say that as a kid, you were super determined. You wanted to be different. You wanted to be different, right? You had that strong personality since you were a kid, right?
Yes, for sure, for sure. I just always wanted to be where everybody wasn't, I guess. So.
Okay. But since your cousin is playing basketball, are you watching basketball because of him? Do you like to watch basketball?
Not that much.
Okay.
Just because it's not my thing anymore, you know.
Okay.
Like I of course, if like he's playing, if someone I know is playing, then it's more interesting. But just to watch. So.
Yeah, okay. You're 100% a football guy. And what's the feeling when you're on the pitch? Because I can feel that you love it so much that you have a boost of energy. You have something when you're on the pitch. How do you feel?
It feels like nothing else matters when I'm on the field, you know. Like it's my space where I can zone out and be happy for no matter what's going on or off the field. Like it's just a place where I feel safe because I've done it for so long. So I know that when I get on the field, everything else can wait, you know. So
yeah, but I'm sure that especially when you started to play football, you had an idol, someone who inspired you, a football player. Who was that?
I mean, I didn't have many idols because I was so tall. So everybody who I wanted to idol was so much shorter than me and had a different completely game. But I would say the one person who was close, or you know, my height and I idolized, was probably Zlatan Ibrahimovic.
Zlatan, I wanted to mention him. I want to say, I think that Zlatan is the tallest guy
for sure.
in football. And goalkeepers for sure. But goalkeepers is another thing. It's another pair of shoes. It's not the same. Yeah, Zlatan has a very particular and great personality. He's like from the Balkans originally. So, and I remember he played in Italy for many time, and I remember people making, and it was not making fun, but like joking around his personality, because he's not cocky, but he's just strong.
Yes.
He's strong.
Very confident.
Yeah. Do you like this? Are you trying to be like this?
No, I'm not that type of player. I don't like to cause conflict, you know, and be like that. I'm just more of a do my job and work hard for my team, you know.
But he's not causing conflict. He's just from the Balkans, where
it's just culture.
You know, Serbs now always have this fire inside. I like to say that, and for some people, this might be a little bit aggressive, but it's not. It's actually, we're very passionate about everything, because you're giving 100% of everything of yourself when you're doing something. And I like it, but some people can say, okay, this is maybe a little bit threatening, but it's not actually. But how would you describe yourself as a player?
I would say I'm a technical player for a big player.
Okay.
I would describe myself like that, you know. I don't do the normal things that a big striker would do. You know, just only hold up play or only this or only that. You know, I feel like I can do more than the average huge striker that is on the market, you know.
Okay, I understand. So what is clear to me was that you had a goal, you wanted to be different, you wanted to step up, wanted to change the tradition in your family. But tell me, I would like to dig in more when it comes to your beginning. So tell me, how was the beginning when you started to play, when you saw, okay, maybe I can do something, I'm good actually. So how was that period?
When I was like 6 years old, I was playing rec and I was really good, you know. And then my parents said, if you really want to go through with this, we're going to move you to a better place, a better team, so you won't be the best player. And are you okay with that? And from that moment, I said, yeah, of course, like I want to try. So I got put on better teams and better teams and better teams. But I was never the best player ever. I was always like, I don't know, just the hardest worker, you know? So from a young age, I never wanted to be the best player, you know? I wanted to go to a place where I always could learn or get better. Because if I was the best player, then I couldn't learn to be better. So I was always striving to go to the best teams, play against the best people, because then I could learn how to be better for myself.
Yeah.
So throughout my whole entire young career, I wouldn't say I was the best, you know, until I was 18, 19. So I grew into my body and was able to accept the type of player that I was going to be. So
what are you saying? Super mature, because you're humble, but on the same time you say, okay, I want to improve. You are confident, because I can see you're confident, but you're humble at the same time because you want to improve. You know that if you want to improve, you need to work, you need to listen, right?
Yes, of course.
Maybe this is missing a little bit in in young players.
Yeah.
Do you agree with me?
I for sure, for some players, you know, like I just feel like it's okay to not be the best, you know. It's okay to have stuff you have to improve, but you would rather know those things to improve rather than not know and think you are the best, because you will never get better. So
But going back in time, was Chicago, this happened in Chicago, right? Was Chicago a good environment, a good place to mold and to grow as a player?
I would say so, for sure, because there was a lot of good players and players that I played with when I was younger that are pro now and doing great things, and it was just a great environment for me to play and have so many good players around me to succeed and play with them. So
it's been like a while since I started these shows. I heard a lot of stories, and I know that especially when you're young, when you're starting your career, a lot of things can hold you back. It's very difficult because you need to handle pressure. You need to find this strength to go forward. And I heard that a lot of careers were broken because a lot of young athletes couldn't handle that. And I'm sure that you, as your colleagues, you had some difficult moments that made you maybe, I don't want to say you were questioning yourself, but maybe made you think a little bit. Can you share something with us?
There's a few moments. I would say my first moment was I was in college when I was in my second year, and usually by then you have established players or players who have a lot of stats or whatever. And it was my third year, 2.5 years into college.
Yeah.
And I went for my meeting, and it wasn't the greatest. He was just telling me I need to do more, I need to do this, I need to do that. But my stats said that I did okay, I did good and whatever. And then me and my family discussed, and we decided that I go into the transfer portal. And the transfer portal is where you switch schools. So I went there and I switched schools. And then when I got to my new school is when there was a year or a half a year period where I had to not play because I didn't have the transcripts, the credits to go to my new school. And at that point, I was very, very in my head because I didn't know if everything that I was doing was worth where I wanted to go.
Yeah.
So I would say that was probably my toughest time, when I was questioning if everything was worth it. And then my next time was when I came to UB, because in UB I was struggling a lot because it was my first time away from my family.
Yeah.
But not only that, it was my first time in any European club or atmosphere at all. And I was really just struggling just because like everything I was used to wasn't here.
Yeah.
You know, like my family wasn't here. When I wanted to talk to somebody, they were sleeping. When I wanted to do anything, I had nobody to do it with, like, because it's not common for your team to just accept you right away.
Yeah.
Because especially because I am American, so I'm a little bit different than what they're used to seeing or hearing or everything. So it was very hard, especially just picking up the Serbian or whatever.
And just switch, right?
Yeah, for sure. So I would say, and then that was the last time where I was really struggling in my head about, is everything worth what I'm doing? Because I had contracts and offers in the US that I could have stayed and been okay and happy. But like my agent knows as well that I just don't want to go to somewhere where I'm going to be okay. I want to be uncomfortable so I can strive to be better. So
yeah. Yeah, asking questions to yourself is completely normal, especially when you care a lot about something. And you share with us two challenging situations, two completely different situations. Let's talk first about the first one, college. Why I'm mentioning this, because sometimes I have the feeling that, especially in this, I'm not criticizing, just to put that, make that straight. I just have the feeling that, especially in this state, they're like, how to say, they put a lot of pressure on you guys, because I know that if you want to pursue something in sports, you need to be good at school, you need to have good grades. It's not enough to be a good athlete. And this is pressure, a lot of pressure on the kid. So this is, I think, a mental battle, first off. So what's your opinion about that?
I would say for sure, because it's not only the mental battle where you have to succeed in the thing you're there for, because mainly you choose your school when you're playing a sport for the sport, not for the school. And if you're struggling in the school part, you can't play your sport. So it's a mental grind between the both, because if you're struggling in one, you can't do the other. And if you're struggling in the other, then you don't even want to go to school because you're there for the sport. So I would say it for sure is a mental battle, because it's 24/7. If you're not playing, you're doing school. If you're not doing school, you're playing. So.
Or even the second situation, we could say, was a mental battle, because you're changing the environment, you're changing your life completely, and it's not easy, because I'm always saying, I'm repeating that, because some people can say, okay, they're just playing. They're not just playing, because your life turns around. That game is important to be mentally good, to feel comfortable, to feel relaxed if you want to be productive on the court, on the pitch, on the field, whatever you want to be productive. So I can imagine that was a cultural shock. You were in a little place, you were a city boy, you were a city guy from a big city. So first off, when you're moving from the States, in Europe, everything is little compared to you guys. So that's crazy, because we're complaining here, you know, that we're driving like 40 minutes for 2 kilometers. We're driving every day 1 hour from one spot to another. So, you know, it's a big difference, a cultural thing, right?
Yes, for sure. Especially because, like, if I want to drive 2 kilometers in the US, it's very fast. Like, I could get there in 5 minutes. But here, if I want to drive 2 kilometers, I better pack some water and a snack to go. So. I mean, obviously I love the food. The food is great here. And I just like I live in waterfront now. So I love just going outside, being able to go outside, and you have no stress, no anything. I love seeing the kids walking by themselves. Like, there's a lot of differences that you just wouldn't see on a normal basis in the US that is nice. So.